Welcome back to another episode of the Corner Podcast. I'm your host Jethro Siew, and the Corner Podcast where I invited friends or guests to the show and to share their life experiences and to discuss topics that we might never discuss before. This episode is suggested by at Instagram at Crazy Mofo. He suggested that me and my co-host can talk about taking car license and our neighborhood drivers. And these are the typical stuff that Malaysian have a very big problem with. So, without further ado, let's invite my co-host. Please welcome Pang Hong Shen.
Hello.
Sup, bro?
Sup.
Alright, so let's just straight into the topic, shall we?
Sure.
Alright, but as you know, as always, before the topic, we will always have the segment called "What's Your Favorite?" And in this segment, basically, I will ask my guest or my co-host for now, to ask his favorite questions and tell me what and why he likes it so much. So today is a little bit special because we are actually running out of time. But just for a quick one, right? Since we are
Just go ahead.
Since we are in the topic of car or even car in general, so what's your favorite car brand for now?
Favorite car brand for now? I mean, if you're Malaysian, it's definitely going to be Pro Dua. Maybe for the win, but I would say Toyota lah. Because most of my family uses Toyota as well.
Cool. But then why you like Toyota so much? Why?
Cost is the main reason. And then the parts are easier to replace, so it's quite nice as well.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah, Toyota has a lot of, not like a lot of parts, but they have a lot of spare parts lying around anyway, so it's cheaper if you want to repair, it's cheaper to repair.
True.
Mm.
All right. So, yep. This is gonna be a very I think it's gonna be a very short section because we both are rushing to another place later. Not rushing to another place, but we are actually got stuff to do later. So
Yeah.
so that's the end of segment on what's your favorite. And today is a very short one. Only one question. I'm so sorry.
How many? This is my fourth time being here. So previously always 3 questions, today only 1.
So you feel a little bit weird, is it?
So I guess. I mean, usually it's 3, so it's suddenly just only 1 question. It's like, okay, I prepared for more, but okay, if it's just only 1, okay, just go with 1 lah. It's okay. I don't really mind, I guess.
All right. So just to set up the stage, right? For those listeners who are foreigner to Malaysian, to get a car license, you actually need to go 3 steps to get an actual car license. 3 exams, I would say. 3 tests.
Is it 3 steps?
I'm not so sure though. Let's make it 2. I would say make it 2. So basically, no.
I mean
there are actually 3 sections though.
It's 3 sections, but the second and third one is mostly gabung together.
It's mostly mixed up together. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's a mix up between 1 and 2 sets.
I would say around 2 to 3 lah, depending on what you think of the second and third one.
True. So let me break it down like how you actually get a license in Malaysia. For car, I'm just gonna say for car now because I don't have a motor license, I don't have a motorcycle license, so so yeah, let's break it down, right? So so the first step if you want to get a license is, of course, you have to register a car academy where they're specialized in teaching car drivers for beginner, basically. By the way, you only can get a car license when you are 17 years old and above. It's not 16.
After your birthday, of course.
After your birthday, of course, yes. During the age of 17, then you only can register to get your car license. Alright. So the first step, you have to sit in a seminar for 6 hours. That's the worst. I just gotta say it out there, for me it's kinda boring. By the way, they're speaking Bahasa Malaysia. So to be honest right there,
it's really just common sense lah. If you really think about it, this is really common sense.
Yeah, for us it's quite common sense because before we even get to the seminar, we actually get to like ask our friends. Our friends have early birthdays, so they have a
Yeah, friends
better.
or family,
Yeah,
basically.
so
But for
yeah,
me, it's my mom lah.
yeah, so that's why basically we have some past experiences from our friends and family, so they can give
Yeah,
us
yeah, yeah.
they can share a bit. So
Okay, and
after
then some of the rules are really just really common sense. When you see a red light, would you go or would you stop?
I
Obviously, you stop lah.
think this is normal lah. This is normal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So after the 6 hours of seminar, you will go to a test where you have to do a colorblind test, and
Computer
what's the
test.
test called?
One is the color blind test. The
Yes.
other one, I'm not sure lah, but it's the computer test, which asks generally about the general knowledge.
General knowledge, and then
It's usually general knowledge on driving on the road and what you should do and shouldn't do. basically.
yes, and then they have 50 of questions, and then you have to get 42 wrong. So if you're
42 right.
42 right, sorry, 42.
42 wrong.
I'm so sorry.
Easy, 8 pass already.
42, you have to get 42 correct and above. So if you get 41, then you are in bad luck. Then you have to retake the whole thing again. And then after you get that 42 question correct, the next thing is you get to drive to test or to start to drive.
You start to drive first lah.
Yeah, you start to drive.
For about 1 month, I think.
I think it's not it's not on month, it's mostly on hours. So for me, it's 16 hours.
Yeah, lah, but you
break it down to
break it down is like roughly around 1 month because you only drive like 2 hours or so for a week.
Yeah, 1 week.
For the day lah, actually for the day, not
Yes,
not
yes.
that week.
1 week per section. Am I correct?
Mhm.
Correct? Yeah, 1 week per
You
section.
per session, yeah.
Per session, and then one session is actually 4 hours. So
What's 4?
four times 4, 16.
I forgot how long already. But I know it's quite long. I just don't know how long.
Yeah.
I thought it's 4 hours. Then you remind me it's 4 hours. Then okay lah, then should be 4 hours. I know. I forgot already.
So
Long time ago already. No
Yeah.
one likes to remember.
yeah, just want to point out there we get our car license for like
P
what?
license.
P license about
C. P. Okay, P around 2018.
2018, and then we take it out our P license about 2020. During 2020, right?
It's around 2020.
Around 2020. So for the P license, you have to stick a sticker a P license basically. You get a P
Mhm.
license. You have to stick your car for 2 years. After that 2 years, you can take it out already. So yeah, just to
We have to change it to C before we take it out.
yes. We have to change it
Uh,
the actual car license first. Then you can take it out the P
take it out
license.
the P license, yeah.
Yes. So to get right back in. So after you test you get your lessons after 16 hours, then you have to go to a QTI test, which is basically before an actual test. So the QTI test is basically a mini test just to let you get familiar with the test with it, and then you have to drive around the area you have, and then you pass, which is good for you. And then after QTI test, then we'll only get to the real deal test, which is the JBJ test, which is the actual JBJ officer will come in, sit beside you, and then we'll test around and see how good after the 16 hours of lessons. So after you pass it, congratulations, you finally get a P. You actually haven't officially get it. You actually
Need to announce that you are a P driver, but you still need to wait for roughly a week or so.
Yes, you have to wait for a week, and then you have to get your actual P physical card, physical license.
Yeah.
Yes, and
They
then
also print out the L license for you when you're driving.
oh yeah. So I'm sorry. So before after you took the computer test, you will actually get a physical L card license. So it means that you are available to test.
But when you say physical, right, is this only laminated paper?
Yeah.
There's one L there.
Yeah, true. And it's a blue card, by the way.
I thought it's green.
No, it's
bluish
blue.
green lah. blue screen. And then, I'm not
It's
sure.
a blue card. It's a blue card. So
I have it. I can check it later.
okay. All right. So yeah, that's it. So that's how you get your whole that's the whole process to get
Just to get your C license.
your
C.
actual no
Sorry.
P first only you see.
Uh,
So
my
that's
bad.
that's
To get the license,
yes.
your driving license. Yeah,
Yes,
basically.
yes. So that's the whole process of how you get the P license first. Then after the 2 years, then you can get C license,
C.
which is a common driver.
Mm.
Alright, so that's the process, and then we both now are gonna talk about and share our experiences during. Let's talk about the air license first. So during
Sure.
during air license, yeah, how about you start first? Like what's the experience look like?
Experience, yeah. Yeah. I think I talked to you about this before. During my L license, right? Mm, Fun thing about it, after is usually after the second time that you went there, then only the instructor will ask you to go out to drive around, like
Yes,
outside the course, right?
yes.
For mine, first day,
Wait, first day then you went
Fir-
off
my
the
first day
course.
I already went out of the course already. I think I haven't even started the. I think I only the whole entire like inside the course, right? The circuit course. The thing only I think I only went around like 2 or 3 times, and then the instructor just told me, okay, come, let's go out to the road.
That's the first lesson, bro.
Yeah. Then we just went out to the road, even go to highway.
but after the first lesson, did they drove you back to the course and then you finished the course? Did they?
No, I drove around.
Or you drove around just for
You know,
fun?
I no, I mean specifically. Actually, I just drove to like I went and how to say I went like for one quick round only lah,
Mm.
to the highway, and then back also I do also I'm the one who drive back.
Oh, okay. So
And then after that he just say you go do the course I'm like, okay, sure. Just keep on going. Yeah, I finished the hours.
that's how you go through 4 hours.
I mean, like the first day is like maybe like there's probably like 3 hours I'm on the course.
Okay.
Then about half an hour is him basically teaching me the basics lah. And then
Oh.
half an hour is on the road.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So sorry, just to clarify once again, during the 16 hours of lesson, the first 2 lessons, which is the first 8 lessons, will be in a course. So for example, in the course they have Z, S, they have
The hill.
they have the
hill
hill,
field.
they have 3-point
Hill.
turns, they have 3-point turns, and they have side parking. So these are the 5 main course that you have to finish it. After that, supposedly after that, then you can only off the course and then you have to go to
Yeah.
highway. That's
Yeah.
that's actually how it's supposed to happen, but I don't know why Hong Sen's instructor I don't know
He's a
why
nice
just the
instructor.
first lesson he was like, okay boy, you can go out to the course and then you have fun. but to be honest, right, let's talk about like before L license. Sorry, let's talk about before L license. Like, are you nervous to take it during the computer test? Are you nervous about it?
Okay, I thought I was thinking you were talking about like even before the computer test. Like, when is your first time when you drove the car?
Hey, yeah,
I
sure,
was
sure.
expecting-
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
The first time when I drove the car, right, I was still like I think I think it should be Form 4 when the first time I drove the car. But is under my mom's supervision lah.
Of
So
course.
when I drove the car, I don't know what to do. My mom asked me to stop. I slammed the brakes. At least it's not fast lah. So it's like it's quite the like that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So my mom was like, oh okay. I just put it to neutral gear. I was like, okay, fine. I'll do it in future. In the future.
So just because of that, your mom stops you to like drove to let
I
you
mean,
test?
because I really don't know how to drive. Plus, it was a manual stick.
Oh
manual.
no, it's a
So
manual.
I'm not sure what to do with the manual. like the manual lah. Then after that, after SPM, my mom decided to teach me again, but it, somewhere around the garden lah. So we just drove around.
By the way, just going to point out that it's a safe place, so don't test don't test your car like in a highway. Please don't.
But highway is a bit too far fetched. Maybe in the neighborhood lah.
Yeah. Please don't drive your car
like
in the
outside.
neighborhood.
I mean like the shop area there.
Yeah.
Just do it in your
It's an open space. Please test in the open space, yeah.
Open space.
So let me tell you about my experience. During the first time I drove my car. I don't know, I think I shouldn't say this because it's a very bad.
Oh no.
It's a very bad one. I think I told you before, right?
You have to tell me, then I'll know.
Okay, then I'll PM you later because I'm not allowed to say this.
Okay.
So let's talk about like I think after that. So after that, I drove my mom's car, of course, with my parents' permission, both, not only one. I have to go through both permission, then only I'm available to drive. So when I drove, it's actually an auto car, so it's okay. It's fine because it's hey.
I mean, it's basically the same lah, but of course, auto is better than. I'm not to say like auto is better than manual, but it's definitely more easier than manual.
Yes, it's for us beginners, right? So auto is more convenient and easier for us to test the car.
I know. Oh yeah, for some reason, right? Auto is actually expensive. The license to get auto, the license for auto to drive auto cars is actually more expensive than to drive manual cars.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So during my first time to drive the car, right? So that time, after I have some very bad experiences, so I push the gas and then I slowly drive, and then one round, then it's done, and I'm done with it. I didn't do much. I didn't push the gas like hardcore, but I get the job done. I basically drove like one round. It's like how fast? It's like 20 kilometers per hour. It's very slow.
I think when I was driving with my mom, right, I drove around close to 40.
That's quite fast though for a really beginner.
Yeah, I pushed it up to third gear.
Third gear, that one no joke. It's quite fast. As a beginner, to be honest.
Third gear, and then sometimes it's but usually it's second gear lah.
Yeah. Basically, usually you first gear, then you shift to second gear, then it's done already. For us beginners.
It's fast enough.
Yeah. So yeah, let's talk back to L license first. So right before L license. So for the computer test. So let's talk about it. So I go first for the computer test. So before the computer test, I was actually quite nervous because I haven't sit to a test after SPM. So to get
test.
Yeah, to get back to the test environment, right? I was like, oh no, I'm gonna be so bad at it, and I'm just gonna say out there.
You look at the computer, it's like, oh wait, it's actually not too bad anyway. It's okay lah, I guess.
I think it's fine, rather on paper. If it's paper, like wow,
yeah,
I'm gonna be very stressed about it.
Yeah, true. You do get the tense feeling on the paper.
Yeah.
Sort of like
Yeah. So, by the way, I'm just gonna say out there, I think I'm very guilty of it. The first computer test I failed. I get 41.
I got 41, right?
No, you have to get 42.
Yeah, at least I mean like at least it's not like you got 30 something. It's like only 1 mark away. It's not like you're. How to say it? Like at least you're not like you're just only a bit.
Like
a bit more
very close. It's like very close to like get the one. Yeah. And then I failed the first test, and then the colorblind test I pass. But it's just the section that you have to get 42,
where
correct?
you need to get the general knowledge of the road.
Yeah, then I get 41. Shucks, man. I got 41, which is
Your
very
second,
bad.
your second turn was 43, right? If not mistaken. Or was it
Yeah,
42?
yeah, I think 43. I think
Yeah.
43. So yeah, I took the second test and yeah, I got 43. And thank God I did get 43. Or not, I have to retake the whole thing again, which is which is I
Not
don't
good
not good, which is not good. So
at all.
so yeah, so after that, right? Um, after that test, of course, I'm very happy and you gonna celebrate a bit. And then after that, I'm going to the real deal, which is the seminar. Just gonna point out there, as I say, in the beginning, is for me it's very boring because we actually know the common sense of like rules and regulations in on the road. So yeah, during the sixth seminar, for me, something I learned something, something I didn't learn, but
I thought the seminar comes before the computer test.
after eh hold on.
You have the seminar first, then only you have the computer test, right? And only you go to the L license where you drive using the L license you drive the car, then you go for P license, then you go for C.
Oh my god, yes.
Yes. You go for seminar first, then only you go for the
The
computer
computer
test.
test, yes, yes, yes.
Uh,
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm still not awake, just gonna be put it out there. Oh my
it's so
gosh. Alright. So I'm really off track already. So can you bring it back?
sure. So L license experience, right? Let's say the what computer test, right? Computers. The first thing I was worried was they said you can bring phone in there, but you can't use your phone. I mean, normal lah, because you have in an exam, so you can't use your phone. So I was a bit nervous that somehow they would find me using my phone, even though I'm not using it. I was scared for. I don't know why was I scared, but I was just scared for that particular reason. And then another thing that was shocked was the computers.
Why is it very old?
Yeah, it's very old.
It's like big chunky.
Yeah, it's the. I mean, they have a like the desktop like CPU over there, and then there's this one big squarish monitor in the side. What?
So in the technical issue, it's like it should be a better monitor lah, because yeah, if you brought it back right, if you brought it back right, um, actually monitors do actually how to say it it actually distract a little bit because color blind test is very important to us. If you get one wrong out of 20 questions, if you get one wrong, yeah, you've actually failed the test. So
Really?
so yeah. So for the monitor, it's actually quite important to as a for us because
But if for my perspective, it was okay lah.
it's
Because even though it's like quite old, but it's I mean I can still see it.
mm,
Mm.
I think for me because the as you say, the monitor is quite chunky and quite old. The color is actually run off a little bit. So for me, for my
It's a bit, but you still can see it.
yeah, you still can see it, but for my monitor, right, as you say, it's very chunky, very boxy. The color is a bit off, to be honest. So that's why I have a little hard time to get it correct.
Look, okay.
Yeah. So for the computer test, you're not stressed at all.
I mean, of course I'm stressed lah, but you can download those apps for the computer test.
Oh yes.
I was doing that up to that point.
Okay.
Just doing, and okay, and enter like okay, let's go. Then I got around 43.
Oh
About
wow. Congrats. 42.
40.
43, sorry. So yeah, I think for me, basically that's it for computer test. Let's jump into the
L license.
L license, the real deal. You are able to finally drove a car.
We're basically going back lah. Because
Yeah.
in the beginning we were talking about L, then suddenly go to computer, and going back to L.
Yeah, I'm so sorry about the flow today because we're both are not so awake. Just gonna put it out there. But yeah, let's talk about air license. So air license, to be honest, for me, okay, so the first lesson for me, for my instructor, is a basic one. It's a very basic one that he will introduce you the whole car, what's inside the engine, what's the parts of the car, what's it called, how do you check the oil, stuff like that, how you check the
Okay.
mirrors, stuff like that. That's the first lesson, and then you will.
That's my last lesson.
Oh yeah, that's your last lesson. That's my first lesson.
My first three rides, we're just driving the car. Like all of a sudden on the last day, right? I said, "Oh, you haven't, I haven't teach you how to do the checking, right?" I'm like, "Not yet." And then the instructor said, "Okay, you go there, you teach." Come.
So for me, right? For me, yeah. Personally, the first lesson is teach you how to check what's the parts, and then it will. For me, for my instructor, it doesn't go out to the course yet. He just let you inside the course, and then he will let you run few times, and then after 2 hours, I think after 2 hours, then it will officially teach you like do the to cross the hill, and then do Z, S, and then 3-point turn, side parking, all those kind of stuff. So yeah, that's basically my first lesson. Um, my first lesson is normally a very typical instructor will teach you like stuff lah.
My one, he just go through everything on the first round, and then the rest of the hours, right? It's just me just driving.
Just drive, right?
Yeah, just drive, keep on driving.
Right. So after the first lesson, the second lesson back to the course, and then you have to get into more details because as usual, the first lesson you have a lot of fails, you have a lot of attempts, you have a lot of fails times. But do you fail on like during the first two? Wow, they're so good.
Perfect,
Wow, you're so
perfect.
good. But during my hills, right, I drove halfway because so the hill is like a triangle. So for us,
I
we
mean,
have
it's more like a semicircle. It's more like a semicircle.
bro semicircle is like this. How you
Yeah,
gonna
yeah, yeah, triangle. Yeah, okay, just
it
triangle.
should be a
But the top is like curved like that.
yeah. So the angle part is actually a curve one, something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you're watching on YouTube, yeah, you can see us how how we illustrate. So yeah. So during the hills, right, I was drive up to the point where it's supposed to stop. And then when I stopped, right, I forgot to press the brake. And then it suddenly drove back down.
Fail immediate. No, you still have a. I think you still can pass, right? Even though you, I mean, you get one more chance on the hill because the hill usually most of them fail at the hill.
No, that's during my first lesson. First
Uh,
ever lesson. So first ever lesson, you of course get fail or you're lucky, then you pass lah. Basically for the hills. So if you are not familiar with, then the instructor will teach you like how to get into the steps lah. So yeah.
mm,
So for me, right, the hills, as I say, I dropped down, and then if I didn't step the clutch in time, then is gonna die. The
yeah,
engine's gonna die
immediately.
immediately. So yeah, I gonna a lot of times, but
Have
practice
my
make
car,
perfect lah.
have my that car. I mean, probably during the first, like not on the course, but with my mom, the car did die a few times, but after that, it's okay.
Wow, that's very good. I mean, because you actually have some experience before you get
Mm,
into the.
yeah, I mean, usually people would have the experience.
Yeah, I think I die a lot of times in during the lessons. But just go okay. Uh, so fast forward, right? Fast forward to the third or fourth lesson. It's time to step out to the course, and then you have to drive like highway stuff like that, right?
Then the instructor will teach you some of the roads that you have to do.
Yes. So for me personally,
Mm.
the instructor will teach me three type of
Yeah,
roads.
usually three lah. Then
Usually
the
three.
the JPJ instructor will just tell you to go route A or route B or route C, something like that.
Yes, the easiest one is C.
Yeah, you just do some U-turn or something.
Basically, it's a U-turn.
For me, I think I go for route A, if I'm mistaken, or route B, something like that.
For me, Okay, during JBJ test, I'm A. No, I'm B, which is the longest one, but I would say the easiest one because you don't have to change your gear that much. If it's A and C, right, you have to change your gear a lot.
And then mine is probably A then.
Mine, I remember is B.
It's not C, it's A.
Mine remember is B. So yeah, come back to air license, right? So for the third and fourth lesson, I get off to the highway and then I drove. You know those normally is right when you drove, right, and then those a lot of potholes, and then the instructor will yeah, and then the instructor will ask you like, hey boy, go to the side, don't go so potholes. It's very ridiculous. And then when you cross to the next road, the next lane, and then the big lorry just came right behind you. Then well,
Some more, you're driving a Kanchil, like the smallest car.
no, mine is not Kanju, mine is Asia.
I'm driving Kanchil. I think was it Kanchil? I think it was a Kanchil, probably a Kanchil.
Kanju is a very old school, bro. Are you sure?
Should be.
Okay.
I forgot. It's probably that, or maybe Asia.
Or maybe
I
Asia.
think I think it's Kanchil.
Wow, that's a very wow.
It's one of the from what I understand, it's one of the old cars.
But you don't have a power steering, which is the worst.
Do I have power steering on the car? I think, wait, got power steering.
Oh, got power steering. Oh, that's good for you.
I think so. I forgot. Probably I forgot already.
Yes.
So I will do like that.
Turn easily lah for you. For you quite easily.
For me, it's quite easy to turn.
Okay.
Then after I got in use my own car, it's like, oh wait, the turning is much more different than the car that I use on the road in the center.
So after that third and fourth lesson, obviously you have to go to recognize or memorize the 3 roads that your instructor have given you. So you have to memorize it, and then after you memorize it, then you are free flow to drove like roundabouts or even free highways. So you're able to drive those kind of stuff. So for me, that's my L license. But how about you? How about as you say, the first lesson, you you drove off the course, and then
yeah, of course, and then went to highway. I think maybe I shouldn't say this, but yeah, I'll probably tell you privately.
okay, sure. So during your air license, right, do you get like lorry horning you and then spotlight to you? Did they flash a light to you?
Actually, surprisingly not.
Wow, you're so lucky, way.
You don't have, like, even though like the road is like very, very congested, even though like that, it's like actually.
Alright, so I have a curious question to ask you. So during the traffic light, right? I don't know about you, but for myself, during the traffic light, I'm the first one. So as the first one, if you messed it up, then you know you're messed up lah. You have to start engine over again. Then you have to drove lah. So did you dye your engine during?
Oh no! I have not died my engine.
Oh, it's so good really good. My goodness, you know how pressure I was like during.
But I think I don't think I've died my engine before, like on the road.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's very good.
on the road, like I've never died. Like even after I finished my L license, right, my driving P, I did need to run like 1 or 2 runs using a manual car. I didn't die at all, so it's okay lah.
Wow, you're so.
It's a win in my book, I guess.
Oh, it's so good, way. Because for me, right, during my L license, I'm very stressed when I'm the first one in the traffic light.
Yeah. If you're the first one, you're definitely stressed. But for mine, I mean, there's a few times I was first, but it was okay. I kind of forgot the feeling already. But during the real test, I was like maybe the second or third one. So
Oh wow,
yeah.
that's very good, way. That's very good. So to fast forward again, I think that's how my L license experience. Basically, you when you're on the highway, you're in the traffic light or you're in the roundabout, you are very stressed. You are very stressed because you have a lot of roads coming out, and then you have a lot of cars, you have a lot of lorries. The most
Yeah.
stressful thing is because of lorry. That's how I get stressed out because
Oh, for me, right, it's not lorries. Lorries was one part, but the other part was motors.
oh yeah, motos
Because they come out from like seemingly
from
like from
nowhere.
nowhere. Yeah.
When I want to change the lane, right? So, for example, when I really want to change the lane, right? Change to a next lane,
Signal.
signal, of course, signal. And then when I look to my side mirror, there's actually no vehicles around me or even behind me or beside me. So when I just turn right, and when I just want to just like change the lane, right, out of nowhere, the motor just I was like, whoa, what the hell, man? That scared me. I don't know why. I double check my side mirror. There's no vehicles. Okay, I can change. Then out of nowhere, the motorcycle just came out right just beside me. I was like, oh my god.
So on the road, is that even on the road right now, right? Because I'm not really afraid of cars. Lorries are my second thing that I'm afraid of. The most that I'm afraid of is just motorcycles because they just come out of nowhere. Even though you checked it, like, okay, there's no car, and then like, okay, let's go.
Whoa.
There's no motor just comes out of nowhere.
For me, I think the first one that I fear is lorry, because lorry that time when I drove right, they are
Mm.
they are very scary, because when I want to change lane or because they know, I have an L license because the car sticks the L, and then
They honk.
obviously they honk at you, and then they will obviously flash at you, so it's very stressed out. So if you drove very slow right, then they of course will horn you and then they will flash you, and then the instructor, you know what the instructor told me? They asked me like, boy, don't care about them, just drive your thing. I was so
I
stressed out,
mean,
you know.
probably I do have the same experience, but I just don't. I was so focused on driving, I didn't really care about what's happening around.
Oh my
Except
gosh.
for motors, of course, and the cars.
Oh yeah, of course, of course. So yeah, let's fast forward to your whole your L license experience. So as you say, your first and last lesson is the balik. It's like totally switch.
Yeah, I'm not really totally switch, but I still go like on the last lesson. I still go on the road. I still go on circuits, and then only the last second is like, okay, we'll teach you. I think we forgot to teach you about how to do the adjustments and the no,
To
not
get
really the adjustment, but to teach
to
it's
check
actually
right.
teaching the engine, checking the engine
Yes.
and all that. The seat inside one, the first day already teach already. It's just the exterior one only they teach on the last day. Then there's also what? Oh yeah, on the JPJ test, like I said, I probably took A or C. I'm forgot,
Road
but
A or road C, right?
I wrote it or wrote C, but it's definitely one of the roles lah because I keep on need to shift the but for you, did your JPJ instructor ask you to like just stop halfway and just return back?
Oh, for me no, because I'm so so for my doing okay. Let's don't talk about GBJ for a
Mm-hmm.
second here. Let's because we're always off track for now. So let's jump to QTI first, shall we?
Okay,
Let's go to QTI first.
QTI first. Okay, okay.
So for
So
me, during the QTI test, right, I know during the last second I almost failed. You know why?
yeah, go ahead. I'm just waiting.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
during my QTI test, I almost failed because for the last freaking turn, I forgot to put on my signal, which is a very bad thing to do.
For me, for me, my instructor just warns me about don't stop so near, like when you're to a
Car
traffic
to car
light or
distance.
gotta not so near.
Oh,
Like when you're stopping behind the car because when I started right I stopped quite close to the car,
okay, okay.
so he just warned me that you just don't stop so close to the car. So on the day right on the actual exam I actually I like stopped quite far away.
Because for me during QTI, I was quite, to be honest, I was quite chill about it because it's just a QTI, right? So you can't do it wrong. And then for the past four lessons, you actually
Done a few times already.
run a few times and then you are familiar with the roads, everything already. So you are quite fine with the car. Because during QTI, as I said just now, I just almost messed up during the last turn. I almost
Mm.
put on signal. So for
Oh,
tips,
so for yours is you go for the circuit, only go for on road, is it?
yes, always like that.
Mine is terbalik.
No. Mine is okay. So for me, the process is, or as it's a typical test. So this is the normal process. For my process is the normal process is, check the whole car
On
condition.
the hill first, isn't it?
No. Right before that, you have to check your car condition first.
Oh, yeah, correct.
Check everything, the exterior and the interior. Then you only can go for the course. After the course, then you can go to the highway, all those kind of stuff like road A, B, or C. So
Or
yeah,
maybe
that's a normal way to do it. So that's my way, and that's how
I
the
think
process goes.
mine's like that as well.
Yours
Forgot
almost
already.
the same, right?
It should be the same.
It
Should
should
be the same.
it should be the same.
I forgot already. I really forgot already.
So yeah, so that's how the process is. So after the, it's quite chill lah. Interior exterior, I'm familiar with it, I'm fine. And then during the course, I'm totally fine because I'm also familiar with. And then during the QTI, the actual highway, road A, B, or C, and I almost failed because the last turn I didn't put on my signal. So, tip for you guys, if you're doing QTI or even GBJ, please put on your signal wherever you turn, or you want to change lane, you must put on signals. Or not, your QTI instructor or your GBJ, yeah, the GBJ officer will totally fail you during the test, or even halfway the test. So you have to put on signals. Even the course, right? Even the instructor say you don't have to put signal during in the course, but I still put on because I don't want to make the mistake. So yeah, how about you? How was your QTI?
My guilty. I mean, I guess I was nervous on the course. I'm not nervous on the highway. I'm nervous on the course because I'm scared. I was scared of the parallel parking only, the other side parking. That's what I'm scared of.
Oh, side parking.
Yeah,
Why?
I mean, you don't really, even though that he guides you, you already know how to like do it. It's like there's a line for you to maneuver it, but I'm still a bit scared because you can't go over the speed limit, something like that. You can't really go over the speed limit. There's a speed limit. I don't know.
Oh, there's a speed limit. I really forgotten though.
There probably was a speed limit because I was driving so slow during the QT. I was driving like 10
Oh,
kilometers per hour.
that's a way too slow, bro. That's
I
way
drive
too
them, so
slow.
like I was scared that I messed up. Then after that, I was like, okay, can we do it on the highway? I was like, okay, like just
So
that's my experience for L. Then for QTI, then JPJ, like I said, just I did either course A or course C, then do it halfway, then I just return back. You go back and okay, you pass.
since we're in the JPJ, now we are jump into the JPJ section, right? So JPJ, as I said, for those listeners who are off track a little bit, JPJ is actually our main test for driving license. So yes, so JPJ, as you say, right? So is it the process? Is it going to be the same? Like, checking the interior, the exterior
Yeah.
first, and then interior, and then go to the course, and then um to the highway, right?
Hmm.
For me personally, I think it's almost the same as QTI. Basically, is QTI, QTI. I just gonna point out that QTI is a 1-to-1 section, but
Hmm.
GBJ, bro, GBJ is like 1-to-8 or 1-to-4
Yeah.
because they want to go fast, so they have to go through every, like they have to. I would say I shouldn't blame them, but because they have to
You
finish
have to
before
run, you
lunch.
have to run through around like I mean like for during my time, right, I was the somewhat the second batch because I was the afternoon section one. So that's why I did only like the course only did for halfway, like for the on road test.
Oh, okay.
So that's why.
So for me, I'm a morning section. I'm the morning section. So
Uh
I have to get up very early and then have to reach there by like what?
like for me when I say about afternoon section, right, is in the morning we do the check all the tires and all the car that, and then we do the circuit. After the circuit, only we start to do like the how to say we start to do the on road, correct?
Yeah, correct.
For me, I had to wait like for the on-road test. So
Oh.
that's why when I said afternoon out, because they need to have cars to be on the circuit and cars for the highway as well.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
they actually divided into two sections. So the first, like, whoever who is lucky to finish in the morning will do, you usually do the full test. Then after that, it's usually quite fast already.
Yes, yes.
Right. Mm. I
Yes.
mean, depending on the number, lah, of course.
I mean, for my section, right, it's depending on your name. So it was A to Z.
Yeah. Same. It's the name as well, but like, because I think my name is lower than yours.
No, I'm lower than yours.
Oh yeah, but
I'm
I
lower.
I would still under like the afternoon section.
Oh, okay. Because mine is like the last few ones, so I'm the last one who drove like B road
Oh,
or even A road. So the next one, right? Because they're actually rushing to somewhere
mm,
else. So the next one after me, they will drove like only the road C. Basically, road C is basically you drove out to a highway
the
and
short
then
roads lah.
it's basically a very short one. You drove out to the course and then you U-turn back and then you came back. That's basically road C. So after my participants, the next one will be all the way. The next one will be on all the way to the last participant will be until road C.
Mm.
So yeah, for them it's quite fast lah. So for me, right, during JPG I was obviously quite stressed because it's the real deal, it's the real test, and then fast forward, of course I passed. I'm very happy to be. So so yeah, during the JPG test, I think that's
Basically it lah.
that's
For
basically
me,
it lah.
for me, it's basically like that.
That's basically it lah. Because we both I think we're both in the same page. Basically, we are both very similar to the whole course already. So I think we are fine with it. I think we don't have too much complaint about it. So
No complaint at all.
yeah, I think that's about it
For our license experience. Eh,
for L and yeah for L license basically. Um, so so let's talk about the P license. Okay, so for our next session, right, it's basically P license and also our neighborhood driver. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about doing our P license, not doing our C license, because we're already familiar with the neighborhood we have. So um let's talk about P license and our neighborhood drivers together.
okay, sure, no problem.
Sure. All right. So for P license, obviously you're very happy. You're very happy about it because you get to finally you get to drive around in your
No
car
problem.
and stuff like that. Um, for me, I think P license is mostly. Oh, I think um, just gonna put it out there. I during my P license, I accidentally scratched others people's car. I think I told you before that.
Yeah, you told me before.
So for example, it's actually a U junction, but it's a very sharp U junction. So as I want to to drove to a how to say to a section, when I really wanted to U turn. When I really wanted to U turn, there's a car like stop here. It's actually parked. It's actually a parking parking lot. So
Mm.
the car is actually stopped there. Please watch it on YouTube because I'm actually illustrating how it's gonna happen. So so the car is actually stopped here, right? So it's actually here like that. And then as I want to turn, right, I didn't notice like the how to say the spacing is not that it's not that far apart. So when I drove, right, it's like Zah. Oh my god,
Yes.
that time I was like, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. Then I think that's the only time that I get scratched
Fresh. Mm.
for another car. So that time I think I was after 1 year of P license. Yeah. After 1 year of P license, then I get scratched and then I have to repair the whole
That
thing.
is okay lah, 1 year, I guess.
Yeah. But how about you? Do you get scratched like other car?
Oh yeah.
Bro,
Yeah, like I did had a car after like 1 year,
mm-hmm.
close to a year, somewhere around that lah. But after that 1 year, right, uh, Like on the first or second day, I scratched my car.
Oh my god, it's so. Oh yeah, I still remember it.
Yeah. I told you before, I scratched my car on the first or second day that I got my new car.
No. Do you remember when you get when you get your new car, because during that time, we a batch of friends, you are the first one who get your own car.
Yeah, correct.
And then we are on the way to KLCC. You remember? We are to lot 10, and then it's very funny because we are not driving all the way to KL. We're actually taking KTM LRT station, basically train to the destination is quite far. So
Mhm.
I remember that when Shen actually got his new car, when we are, when you're on the way to get your ticket, the car ticket, the parking ticket. Do you remember that? Let me tell you the whole story. So when you're on the way to get the parking ticket, because before the parking lot there's a ticket, the ticket booth, the ticket machine that you need to take the parking ticket. Before that you actually so again, watching on YouTube, I'm gonna illustrate. So this is the ticket machine, right? Parking
Yeah.
ticket machine, and then
I couldn't make it, is it?
no. Your side mirror, like your side mirror is like.
Oh, I remember already. Almost hit.
No, almost said you hit it.
Did I?
You hit it. I still remember. You hit it, and then
I really
okay. So this is the side mirror, and then this the ticket machine.
machine.
So while he's trying to take the ticket machine, right, he didn't accurate that properly. So when he trying to drive out, it's like he just bang it on the ticket machine, and he's like, oh shit. Then he tried to wind it down,
Reverse.
back. No, yeah, he reversed it, and then he wind it down back. The side mirror, he want to push it back in, and then he only drive in. Wow, bro, that time I was like, me and Ryan, shout out Ryan. That time we three of us, that time three of us are actually going to lot 10, and then we both laughed so hard because you you hit the side mirror, and then we both were like laughing so right. So yeah, you've forgotten already, right?
I really forgot already.
I still remember it because it's so funny.
The only place I remember that I scratched my car is like the bumper area on the right and the left side. Both of them got scratches.
How you got scratched?
Okay, the right one was the first day. Was it right one? Yeah,
Left.
it was the left one. The left side that I scratched was on like the first or second day. Then the right one, I don't know when.
How do you get scratched? I'm curious.
Bumper. Bumper. The divider. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think because I understand that because during the first or second day, because you are new to the car and then you are not so accurate for the spacing. Is it because why?
No, that's probably because of that. And probably inexperience could be a problem to it as well.
Yeah, true. True.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I get my new car like 1 month ago.
Yeah.
I just got scratched last week. My left down bumper.
Always have a scratch on your car.
But it's a very minor scratch. It's a very minor scratch. It's like very small scratch.
My one is like the size of my palm.
Oh my god.
It's like the size of my palm. One is like around that. One is like half the size.
Oh my god! Wow.
But okay, no one can see it. I mean, no one really sees it.
True. No one actually can see it. So yeah. Let's talk about, since this, I think that's the field experience on our scratches or stuff like that. So I think for P license, right, you actually get more experience during your driving on the road or even in your neighborhood.
I mean, of course, 2 years. 2 years compared to like 16 hours is definitely.
It's totally different, the experience. So yeah, let's talk about it let's talk about both at the same time. So when you're taking P license and when you are driving
around
the neighborhood, and also your neighborhood drivers.
Before COVID ever happened.
Yeah. Just want to point out there is before COVID, before COVID. So okay, just want to point out there our neighborhood drivers is suck.
I mean, it's okay lah.
For you, it's okay. For me, my experience is totally bad. During my P license, right, and then during when I drove in the highway, dude, it sucks because Firstly, Malaysia driver, please put on your damn signals. Put
Oh,
on your damn
for me,
signals.
right? Because I realized no one would like, no one would really like. Some of them will do their signals, but for me, right, what I do is I'll just read their tires. I'll look at their tires. If their tires are sweeping to the my lane, right, I'll just slow down.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, that's a cool tip for
Eh,
beginners. That's a cool tip for
for,
beginners.
for me is like that because after I learned that, I've been using that ever since. That I know that probably I'll probably use this for the rest of my life.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
usually judge based on like if the tire is on the line, then I'll definitely start to slow down. But if it's not on the line, then it's either I'll speed up or just maintain the same speed.
mm. So for me, right, I think we both talked before in the car. So
Yeah.
we both experience have like lorries and lorries like between us like sandwich.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that because I think we
Okay.
both talk about it.
Quick question for you. Which one do you hate more? Side by side or top and bottom?
Oh, this is a very good question. Um, I think personally for me it's top and bottom
Same for me.
because top and bottom. If you okay, so top and bottom, right? If you are in between, right? So if you're
You definitely no
definitely you
matter
have
what happens.
to
If there's
be
an accident.
yes. Firstly, you have to be more cautious about it because if your the front lorry doesn't brake properly, you didn't brake properly, the back of the lorry will actually gonna hit you and then we're actually
Yeah.
gonna crash in front of the lorry. So that one is actually quite there's a lot of incidents in Malaysia because of they
That
didn't the car didn't brake properly
right.
or the front lorry doesn't brake properly. So if you're on the road, please be careful of this. If
Mm-hmm.
you're try to avoid between even though you're side to side or you're top and bottom, just try to avoid um those kind of lorries.
Just just try to avoid being between any lorry.
Any vehicles or any lorry because
I mean,
the
vehicles are okay. It's just like if your cars are small, then try to be aware of the big cars that are around you, I guess.
like for example MPV or even SUV or even cars are higher than you, then you have to get very
Yep.
you,
Correct.
you have to be aware of it because sometimes they didn't see you then they're straight put on their signal and then they're straight bang on you. So yeah, you have to be cautious about it. So I think that's how we are that's how we get this all this kind of experience till today. That's how we get a we as to be honest, we both had this kind of experience to get to be a better driver or to be a more cautious driver because Malaysia driver there's a lot of incidents going on even daily. So yeah, to the all drivers out there, be safe, drive safe, and don't drink and drive. Don't ever drink and drive. Don't ever drink alcohol and drive. You get what I mean, right? So we have a lot of incidents during midnight and yeah, you're drunk and then you think that is a good way to drink and drive. Please don't. If you
I
are
mean, I don't think anyone would do that. It's just that sometimes they probably prompt to do that. I don't think. I mean, mm, I wouldn't say that. I mean, some people are aware of it, lah. So
yes. Yes. So for me, right, if you know you're gonna get drunk right during the night, maybe you since now you have Grab, please grab home and
mm,
then be safe lah basically. So you won't get hurt, you won't get an incident on the road. So yeah,
mm,
that's how my P license experience about it. Because just want to point out that we both are actually running out of time, so that's why um we have stuff to do after this. So yeah, Sun, do you have any closing stuff? Is let's wrap it up this episode right by
mm.
giving some cautious or give some tips to the audience like um
Tips. Mm, tips. So one of it was the tires. You look at the tires and you can roughly judge where they're gonna go, lah. That's one of the tips that I can give. For like drivers like me, right, that who wear glasses or not necessarily wear glasses, but those who have high,
High side.
not like the. I always forgot what is it called in English. Sanpang.
Oh, I so forgotten already.
But if you have a high flash or something lah. But anyway, if you have that, you can always try to go for like. There are glasses that are specially for those kind of things.
Those
For
kind
them.
of people, right? Those people who have those kind
For those kind of eyesight problem.
eyesight problem, basically. So, so yeah. For me, I think tips, right? For me, I think it's not a tip. Basically, it's a must. If you can on the road, please turn on your signal wherever you want to turn.
Mm.
Because by turning on your signals is actually benefit for you and for
Other people.
other people also. Because if you don't turn on your signal, people don't know what indicate you're trying to do. So if you have a turn, please turn on your signal, and then I think it's a very
Of course, don't turn on the last second, then you need to
yes,
turn it.
please don't turn on the last second, please. When you are going to turn, please turn on your signal and then you turn. Please don't when you are turning, then you only turn on your signal is quite dumb lah for me. So yeah, another tip for me, I think it's almost the same as Shen. Basically, during a highway, right? You can judge by their tires. If you are quite close to the line or lane, to you or to someone else, please be cautious about it. And then, yeah, I think that's basically
That's basically it.
basically that's it. And then for those who are taking P license, no, for those who are taking L license, all the best to you. I hope you get past during these difficult times, COVID-19. As you guys may already know that we are in Malaysia. We have a second lockdown, MCO 2.0. So, everyone just please stay safe.
Stay safe lah.
Stay safe, and if you can, just stay at home. And then, if not, if you're out there, please stay clean, sanitize your hand, wear a mask, and then I think basically yeah, that's it for this episode. Do you have any last words or last sentence to wrap this episode?
Sentence. Trying to think of a creative pun, but I can't think of anything. Yeah, but anyway, just try to drive safe lah. Even though like right now lockdown, but there's still people working, so just try to stay safe and drive safe.
Yeah, stay safe, drive safe, and if you have any suggestion on the next episode, please comment right down below. And you can follow us. You can follow on Instagram at thecorner.podcast. You can comment on the topic that I might share on stories. So you can suggest it on the text box, and yeah, and then you also can stream this podcast on Spotify, Anchor, our host, and on YouTube. So anyways, stay safe, stay clean, and we will see you on the next episode. Peace.
Peace.